And the question for this week is, if I have a gay or lesbian child, how do I talk about sex and relationships? Hi there and welcome back to another episode of Sitting in a Car. I'm Sarah Sproul and I sit in a car with you each week, answering a question to help you raise your confident and caring young person who respects themselves and the people around them. This is such a great question because it's going to help us explore how do we raise kids and children to be adults who are comfortable being themselves. Way back in 2017, I was doing the research for my master's thesis, and I was talking to parents who had just been through the marriage equality referendum with their children and were having conversations to do with sex and bodies and puberty and love while that was happening in Ireland. One of the messages that came through really clearly in the research was that parents found it easier to talk to children about the wide variety of relationships if they had someone in their friendship group or in their family who was out about their relationship status. So if they had a bi sister or a gay brother or a lesbian cousin or a trans friend from college, they found it easier to have these conversations at home because they naturally came up in conversations just with everyday life. But the parents who didn't have people that were living out and proud, diverse lives found it more difficult to have these conversations. So here are 3 points that you can use to have easier conversations with your children about diversity. Point number 1, we don't really know if we are raising a gay, trans, bi, queer kid. There is no way we know that. They might not even know what they are, and that's okay because sexuality education is done best when it is inclusive for everyone. So we say the same things no matter who we are talking to. That's weird, right? But that makes sense because children grow and change and become more of who they are as they get older. And we don't know what that more of who they are is going to look like. So we want to practice diversity and inclusion and supporting people of all sorts of interests and creeds and colors and all the things. Point number 2, use general language when you talk to your children about what sex is. You don't need to say sex is a penis in a vagina because the fact is there are some people that have sex with each other and nobody has a vagina or nobody has a penis. So sex can be different things for different people, right? And you can talk about sex generally being something we do with our bodies that feels really good, and it's usually to do with touching parts of ourselves that we don't normally touch or we don't let other people touch, and touching other people's bodies in places that they don't normally get touched either. And that way, when we're really broad like that, it allows our child to grow up to work out what parts of their body they want to share with someone else. Point number 3, it's not just being straight or gay or lesbian that is possible. There are lots of different relationship styles and models that our children may discover that is the right ones for them. Maybe they are bi or pan, which means that they are attracted to people of all different types of genders and all the things. So we don't really know as a parent what is going to come down the road for our child. And if you're anything like me, you want to be there for them no matter what is going on in their life. We just want to create a culture of safety and openness and love and connection in our household. So if that's what you want for your child, general language is going to be your best friend. One final story before I end. My nanny, who is my mum's mum, my grandmother, was widowed when I was only 6. So for most of my life, I only knew her as a single person. And whenever there would be a big family event like a wedding or my 21st, we would always say to Nanny, "Would you like to bring a friend?" And sometimes she would bring a friend, but never a male friend. It was always her cousin or her neighbor or someone down the road. And in the moment where we ask people to bring a friend, if we say friend or special person or do you have someone in your life, then it gives people an opportunity to be really open about who they would actually like to bring. And that works for our kids too. So let's sum up. Point 1, we don't know who our child is going to grow up to be, so we need to use as inclusive a language as possible from the very beginning. Point number 2, there's all different types of sex. It's not just penis in vagina, is it? So we can use broad, general descriptions and language around that sort of thing too. And 3, it's not just gay or lesbian that are some of the options when our children are looking at what sort of relationships they want. There are a wide variety of all sorts of things that they might choose to live and be and do and have as they grow up. And that's Sitting in a Car for another week, where I've answered a question to help you raise your confident and caring young person who respects themselves and the people around them. And while I've got you here, can I ask for your help? Would you like, repost or subscribe to Sitting in a Car? This helps other parents just like you find the information and support they need to do this part of their parenting even better. Thanks for that, and bye for now.